Thanks for joining us for CBN News Today. I'm Charlene Israel.
And I'm Ephraim Graham. The Egyptian army kept the pressure up on the Muslim Brotherhood, arresting its spiritual leader, Mohammed el-Beidhi. The arrest comes after 25 Egyptian police officers were murdered execution style in Egypt's Sinai Peninsula. Here's CBN's Chris Mitchell now from Jerusalem.
Beidhi's arrest is another blow to the Muslim Brotherhood. Egyptian police are charging Beidhi with incitement in June when 8 protesters died. In 2012, the Simon Wiesenthal Center chose Beidhi as its top anti-Semite when he recommended holy jihad against the Jews. Earlier, authorities returned the remains of 25 police officers to Cairo after an Islamic terror attack in the Sinai Peninsula. Officials said the terrorists stopped 2 buses carrying the officers, ordered them on the ground, and shot them. The attack highlighted the anarchy in the Sinai.
Indeed, we believe there are several thousand al-Qaeda combatants right now in the Sinai, and they'll be in other places as well. When you have the kind of chaos, anarchy, and carnage you're seeing right now in Egypt and in Syria, and not so great in places like Somalia, you're getting into a very dangerous situation.
In Cairo, a court ordered the release of former Egyptian President Mubarak, but it appears the former leader will remain in custody for another 2 weeks pending a judicial review. When Mubarak was in power, he warned about the Muslim Brotherhood and other Islamic groups. These groups don't ever believe they want democracy or anything like that. They are exploiting democracy in order to eliminate democracy. And if they ever do govern, it will be an ugly dictatorship. According to an Israeli newspaper, the U.S. is secretly planning to cut aid to Egypt pending a review. One former Israeli diplomat told CBN News the current regime wants to be pro-Western, but if Europe and the U.S. cut aid, Russian President Vladimir Putin will gladly offer aid to the Arab world's most influential nation. He can't understand the support the U.S. and Europe are giving the Muslim Brotherhood, which he says has declared war on the West. An Israeli official told CBN News it believes Europe and the U.S. should continue to support the military-backed government, since the military is the only hope to prevent further chaos in Egypt and restore stability. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Reports today that the leader of a vicious terrorist group in Nigeria may be dead. Abu Bakr Shekau is the leader of Boko Haram, a radical Islamist group that has waged war on the government and Christians in northern Nigeria. A statement from Nigeria's military says an intelligence report reveals that Shekau was mortally wounded in an attack on a forest hideout late in June and that he later died across the border in Cameroon. Just a week ago, Boko Haram released a video in which Shekau claims the military lied about wounding and possibly killing him. The military says that video is a fake.
Members of Congress are pushing for changes in how the National Security Agency operates. This comes after the Washington Post reported the agency broke privacy rules or overstepped its legal boundaries thousands of times over the last 5 years. The report was based on top-secret documents provided by NSA leaker Edward Snowden. President Obama has repeatedly said Congress has been thoroughly briefed on the NSA surveillance programs, but some lawmakers doubt they're getting the full story.
You know, I think the president fundamentally misunderstands the constitutional separation of powers because the checks and balances are supposed to come from independent branches of government. So he thinks that if he gets some lawyers together from the NSA and they do a PowerPoint presentation and tell him everything's okay, that the NSA can police themselves.
Senator Rand Paul says without the Snowden leak, Congress would never have known the Obama administration had been lying to them about collecting data on Americans.
The Guardian newspaper says British agents destroyed their newsroom hard drives after they began publishing revelations from Edward Snowden. In an opinion piece published on the Guardian's website, editor Alan Rusbridger claims the hard drives were destroyed after weeks of pressure by British officials. He said the hard drives were torn apart in the basement of The Guardian as British intelligence agents looked on.
A county clerk is defending his decision to issue same-sex marriage licenses in Pennsylvania, where the law still defines marriage as between one man and one woman. In a legal brief, Bruce Haynes called the law unconstitutional, pointing to the recent Supreme Court ruling that struck down part of the Defense of Marriage Act. The Register of Wills has issued about 135 marriage licenses to same-sex couples in Montgomery County. Pennsylvania's governor has gone to the Commonwealth Court to try to stop Haynes. Haynes now wants the case moved to the state Supreme Court.
New Jersey has become the second state to ban so-called conversion therapy. Governor Chris Christie signed the bill into law on Monday. It bars therapists from trying to help kids get rid of unwanted same-sex attraction. Christie, a practicing Catholic, says he believes people are born gay and that homosexuality is not a sin. Liberty Counsel, a Christian legal group, is filing suit to block the law, just like it did when California banned change therapy. Founder Matt Staver says the bill violates the First Amendment rights of counselors and their clients.
It intrudes the government into the client-counselor room and puts the government in the counselor's seat. This is unprecedented because there's no other area of counseling where the government says that you can only counsel one viewpoint.
Christie says that the risk of changing a child's sexual orientation is greater than the risk of government intrusion on parental rights.
In the West, nearly 36 wildfires burn across 9 states. Hundreds of families have been evacuated, and thousands of firefighters are on the front lines. As Mark Martin shows us, firefighting resources are stretched thin, and the weather could create more problems.
Orange everywhere.
Donna Carlquist and her husband wait to go back home. One of 400 families evacuated when the Swedes fire in Northern California ignited. Like other fires in the West, it plowed through rough terrain and climbed steep hills. The wildfires have burned thousands of acres and destroyed buildings.
It's been hot, dry, windy. It's been keeping us busy last couple days. We haven't been getting a lot of sleep, but we're getting it done.
More than 900 firefighters are battling the Swedes fire alone.
All night long, the firefighters have been on the front lines, building containment around this fire. We're making real good progress on this fire.
Another one firefighters are making progress on is the wildfire in Idaho, which threatens homes in the resort towns of Ketchum and Sun Valley.
All at once, everyone tried to get out of here, and I mean, it still looks like a ghost town around here.
However, thanks to attacks from the air and ground, authorities in Idaho are now letting residents living near this 160 square mile wildfire cautiously head back home. A mandatory evacuation order has been lifted for Ketchum, Sun Valley, and Haley. The thousands of firefighters battling the flames across the West also look to the skies, preparing for possible severe weather with strong winds and lightning strikes that could make things worse in a moment by feasting on dry conditions.
We're really wanting to watch that weather closely to ensure that we don't have any embers thrown over our line and this fire to take another run off.
Mark Martin, CBN News.
Severe weather left more than 100,000 people without power in Southern California Monday night. Take a look at this video. Lightning struck part of a power plant early in the evening, igniting a small fire that caused a massive power outage. Power was restored to some homes and businesses around midnight. Most of the area's power is expected to be restored this morning.
A presidential task force says America needs a better plan for protecting the country's infrastructure system during natural disasters like Superstorm Sandy. In a new report, the group highlighted ways cities can improve, including using federal money for new flood protection standards for coastal communities and making upgrades to existing infrastructure like the electrical grid. The task force says spending money now would save money in the future.
Officials say they have discovered the source of a massive salmonella outbreak that has swept across 37 states. They've already traced it to a poultry hatchery in New Mexico. Since March, cases have been reported from California to New York, sickening more than 300 people. No deaths have been reported, but at least 51 people have been hospitalized. About 60% of the cases have been in children younger than 11 years old, including 7 babies in New Mexico. Officials say the salmonella strain was traced to Privet Hatchery in Portales, New Mexico. The hatchery sells live baby chickens, ducks, and other poultry by mail and supplies them to feed stores.
People need to realize even if they look healthy, they may still be carrying salmonella. A lot of these cases, the parents bought these young baby poultry at the feed store and then allowed them to run around in the kitchen floor along with the children.
Health officials caution people to wash their hands after handling live poultry.
Coming up, he was a presidential candidate and one of the most powerful members of the U.S. Senate. Today, Rick Santorum may be in a greater position to influence American culture than ever before.
Today, we're on a field trip to discover what inflation is doing to our paper money. In this hand is a $20 bill, and in this hand is a $20 U.S. gold coin. They used to have the same buying power, but how much can they buy today? In this first basket is what my $20 bill buys: milk, bread, peanut butter, and jelly. And here's what one $20 gold coin will buy: 6 baskets full, worth nearly $2,000, almost 100 times more food, simply by owning gold dollars instead of paper dollars. History shows that the gold coins have been the best way to beat the rising cost of living. So class, the moral is that unless you want to live on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in the future, you should turn some paper dollars into gold coins now. How and why is explained in a new book, The Great Debasement. Call the number below for a totally free copy. And that's the simple truth.
Help! If an emergency happened right now, you can have help at the push of a button with Medical Alert.
Remember when I took that fall, Mary?
Oh, yes, that was terrible.
Yes, it was.
Help!
And I thought, what if you hadn't been there? I ordered my Medical Alert the next day.
I can't describe how safe I feel now with my Medical Alert. You didn't know I was wearing it, did you?
Medical Alert is easy to install, waterproof, and covers you inside your home and out.
It helps me feel safe from fires, break-ins.
And of course, a Medical Alert. And if you don't have a home phone, don't worry. They have that covered.
There's always help at the push of a button. Don't wait till you need it.
Get Medical Alert for less than $1 a day. There are no long-term contracts. Order now and get your second button free. Call for your free brochure.
For your free Medical Alert system with second button free, call 800-575-8507.
From CBN.
Broken Eardrum is playing at the Civic tonight.
And you'll just have to miss it.
This is so incredibly unfair.
A special story of love and sacrifice.
Joy, Mom comes up with something.
Christopher Quantum, you and I are going to discuss your attitude right this minute. Superbook.
No.
Join the Superbook DVD Club and get Superbook's newest episode, He is Risen. Plus 2 copies to share with others. All for your gift of $25.
They have arrested Jesus, the Messiah. Do you not know that I have the power to crucify you?
No! Please! You can't! They've taken him to Golgotha. We must hurry. Mary is about to lose her son. The worst thing any mother could face. I am not leaving her.
Superbook. It's an amazing way to build a strong spiritual foundation in the children you love.
Mary, who are you looking for?
I've seen him! He is alive!
Superbook. He is Risen. Available now.
Welcome back. Former Republican presidential candidate Rick Santorum has a new mission. He tells CBN News that he wants to start a movement aimed at changing the culture in this country.
And his focus is on the movie industry. David Brody has the story.
When you think Rick Santorum, you think politics. But hold on a minute. Meet Rick Santorum, the movie executive of family-friendly Echolite Studios.
God is alive and active in so many people's lives. We have so many stories to tell.
The latest story is set to debut next month. It's called Seasons of Grey, the modern-day story of Joseph.
I grew up being taught not to question God.
Don't come back now, Brady, you hear me?
But when you're caged in the back of a cattle hauler, you want to know, where is God?
The movie is done entirely by Watermark Community Church in Dallas. But he says, don't worry, this is solid, high-quality work. He believes compelling movies made by churches are vital in changing our culture.
I think it was Aristotle who said, give me the storytellers and I will control the country in a generation. Well, who tells the stories? Well, 100 years ago, it was the church. It was the family. It was the neighborhood, the library. Today, it's Hollywood.
It shouldn't be surprising that Santorum is out to change the culture. He's been preaching about it through the prism of politics for decades.
We have to engage as much as the other side does.
And he says millions of donor dollars are coming in from those willing to engage in this culture fight. But a vital part of this comes from church members. Echolight has come up with a way for Christians to set up movie screenings in their hometown movie theaters to spread the word.
We give you the good quality product. You then go out and can evangelize in your own community, bring people in.
Santorum knows a thing or two about bringing people in. He finished a strong second to Mitt Romney in last year's GOP presidential primary. And this year, he's been back in early voting states like Iowa, fueling speculation of another presidential run.
I need to keep my options open for a potential run.
But whether it's politics or the movie industry, the goal is still the same: an American culture that defends and embraces Judeo-Christian values. David Brody, CBN News, Washington.
And Echolight Studios is partnering with best-selling Christian author Max Lucado on this project. His new book, You'll Get Through This, is being released with the movie. Both share a message of hope and encouragement during difficult times.
Up next, it is one of the most picturesque places on earth, and yet people are fleeing it in droves. Find out what's behind the mass exodus next.
Attention sleep apnea patients. Are you tired of the expense and hassle of getting your CPAP and BiPAP supplies? Are you fed up with dealing with ill-fitting, leaking, or worn-out masks and straps? Are you worried about the effects that unsanitary tubes, cushions, and filters have on your health? If you said yes to any of these questions, Allied Medical Supply Network has the solution to your problems. You could qualify to have your supplies regularly delivered right to your door at little or no cost to you. That's right, no more inconvenience, no worn-out masks and straps, no more unsanitary equipment, just restful sleep. Call Allied Medical Supply Network today to determine if you may qualify to receive your fresh, brand-name supplies at little or no cost. Don't delay. Call us now to see if you are eligible to save money on regular delivery of your CPAP and BiPAP supplies. Call 1-800-815-9947. That's 1-800-815-9947. Or go to cpapsupplyhelpline.com.
Announcing an important breakthrough in healthcare that can benefit everyone. If you or anyone you love needs affordable health insurance, regardless of a pre-existing medical condition, call Quick Insurance 123 today and get the immediate relief you deserve. Quick Insurance 123 was created to provide affordable health insurance to all uninsured Americans, with or without pre-existing conditions. This is not a discount card. This is a real insurance program that lets you choose from many affordable health plans, with access to doctors, hospitals, emergency services, and more. So call the number on your screen now and get the health coverage you need just for calling. As a special bonus, we'll send you a free prescription savings card that could save you up to 85% on your prescriptions. That's right, you could save up to 85% on your prescriptions just for calling. Call Quick Insurance 123 to find out how you can get affordable health insurance and receive your free prescription savings card just for calling. Don't wait. Getting a free quote is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today.
You could call it a modern-day exodus as Californians are leaving their homes and heading for another state.
And that state is Texas. Paul Strand visited both to find out why so many people are saying so long to California and hello to Texas.
It may be a state of stunning beauty and wonderful weather, but people are still leaving California in droves. Lifelong resident Sylvia Beltran will soon join them.
It breaks my heart because if to live here in Southern California, you can be at the beach in an hour and you can be up skiing in an hour.
Those positives haven't stopped some 3.5 million residents deserting this state in the last 30 years. The top reasons? A bad business climate, high taxes, plus bad government. And those leaving believe it's going to get worse, not better. Beltran was recently driving to Arizona.
We saw one van coming into California, and we saw probably 6 vans moving out.
Voters are voting, in a sense, with their moving trucks.
Meredith Turney complains California is the worst of the nanny states.
The legislators in Sacramento think that they know better than the public how you should be running your life. And that kind of mentality, I just couldn't deal with that. I want to live in a state that respects my freedom.
She says state lawmakers introduce 2,000 laws a year.
2,000 new laws that those legislators believe that the people of California need to abide by.
And this pro-family lobbyist says they treated her horribly.
It was very very common for me to go into the Capitol building and testify on pro-family policies and be called a bigot and be called ignorant.
It was that kind of thing that made Linda Freeman's family head back to Texas after living near San Francisco for just 18 months. She says she was constantly confronted by a harsh, judgmental attitude.
A very prosecutorial mindset. And I don't mean the government, just the government. I mean the people. If you use plastic bags, we're going to call the authorities. If you buy purebred dogs, we're going to call the authorities. If you give your children gluten and milk, we're going to call the authorities. These are your neighbors.
Her homeschooling Christian family found trouble right from the start.
Buddhist, Hindu, whatever, yay. Christian, boo.
They're just a very nanny state mentality. If you're not raising your children according to the way that we believe you should be, then we'll take your children from you.
Out there, I just found it to be very oppressive and a little scary, because from prosecution really flows persecution.
It's that kind of atmosphere that has Beltran planning to leave as soon as she and her husband can retire, possibly to the Lone Star State.
California is losing a lot of employers to Texas. I want to go see why.
Former California lawmaker Chuck DeVore says it's because Texas is so pro-business, while the Golden State taxes and regulates companies near to death. For example,
the average small business in California is hit for about $134,000 per year in compliance costs to comply with the regulations in the state of California.
Dozens of companies are considering packing up and leaving. Dozens already have. Even as we've been here in California for a couple of days, we've heard about more businesses pulling up stakes right now. We found one of those businesses right here in the small town of Shiner, Texas, owned by John Harrington, a man who California so infuriated he had to leave. He was a Christian owner of a gun business. 3 strikes to many in the Golden State.
A business is a necessary evil in the state of California. A gun business is just plain evil, and a Christian in the gun business is an enemy of the state, practically.
He says he was often characterized as an unenlightened barbarian, but he considers that ironic.
I get death threats on a regular basis from the enlightened ones. Kill yourself with your gun. I hope somebody kills you.
Harrington says he loves being back in his home state of Texas, where it's pro-gun, pro-freedom, and pro-business.
Newsflash, the government doesn't create jobs. Barack Obama doesn't create jobs. I do. Guys like me do. And Texas gets that.
In just this century, Texas has created more than 1 million new jobs. California's lost more than 500,000. From 2004 to 2010, 680,000 people moved from other states to Texas, a whopping 185,000 of them Californians.
It better be the future of America, because frankly, I don't see how this country can continue to prosper if it doesn't become more like Texas and less like California.
We came back to Texas for freedom. One word, simple, freedom.
Paul Strand, CBN News.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
When you're driving along and your cell phone rings, do your eyes instantly go off the road? Then you need to get a grip. Hi, David Jones here with the new Grip Go, the most versatile hands-free mount that will instantly grip any phone for safe driving. Just attach the suction cup to your windshield or dash, and Grip Go grabs your phone ultra fast. Then it peels right off. And don't worry, there's no sticky residue left behind. The 360-degree pivoting mount allows you to always get the perfect viewing angle. It's even strong enough to grab and hold this expensive smartphone out the window. Yet it comes right off with ease. That's the advantage of Grip Go. You can get the amazing Grip Go with dashboard mount for only $14.95. We'll send you a second kit free. Just pay separate processing and handling. Get 2 complete Grip Go systems for just $14.95.
To order Grip Go for $14.95 plus processing and handling, call 1-800-709-5259 or order online at getgripgo.com.
Jim is 38, mortgage, married, 3 great kids. He wants to protect his family with a $500,000 term life insurance policy. What do you think it'll cost him? $100 a month? 60? 40? Actually, none of the above. Jim can get a $500,000 policy from a highly rated insurer for under $19 a month. His secret? SelectQuote. SelectQuote is impartial. They'll comparison shop the pick of insurance companies like these to give you a choice of your best prices. SelectQuote has great savings on term life for women, too. Jim's wife, Deidre, can get a $500,000 policy for under $16 a month. SelectQuote has helped make term life insurance affordable for hundreds of thousands of people since 1985. How about you? Just call this number or go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
It has been 3 months since a deadly tornado ripped through Moore, Oklahoma, devastating the city. In the days afterward, more tornadoes swept through the area, bringing even more devastation and creating more victims.
In Oklahoma City, Floyd Bowman and his 2 sons were among those who lost everything. This week, thanks to CBN's Operation Blessing, they got their home back. Take a look.
All right, here we go. I got people from all over the country that want to say something very special to you on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. So these are the volunteers that came from all over. This is Floyd. This is Austin. Hi, this is Fred. Hi, Fred. So what do you guys think about all this so far?
Nice.
You think it's nice?
Whoa! Dad, it looks nice. Look.
Fred, come here.
Austin, what do you think? You're welcome, man. You surprised?
Mm-hmm. This is me and Freddy's. Yes.
Because I know like your boy's education is so important to you. So Operation Blessing has bought this computer, not just to play games, but there's learning games on here that you can sit down with the boys and go through. But there's one theme that's resounded, and it's what an awesome dad you are. And I know it's been really tough for you, and I'll never forget meeting you when that bathroom was gutted out, and you could see the ground and the house was falling apart. And you were doing everything you could to rebuild this house by yourself. And I remember that day, and we prayed together, and you had tears in your eyes, and you said, I'm doing the best I can. And I knew at that moment we had to help you.
Get out of Roger's way. I wanted to give you this gift of the Bible, and a bunch of the volunteers have been able to sign this, but we just wanted to say we love you, we're praying for you, and we rejoice with you, we celebrate with you guys. And we're really happy for you. Congratulations. Thanks a lot. God bless you guys.
Everybody comes back saying what an awesome dad you are. And you may feel like you're alone at times, Floyd, but you are an incredible dad. And there's many other people we could have said yes to, but God put you in our path.
Operation Blessing has been on the ground in Oklahoma from that very first day that twister hit on May 20th. The ministry has empowered thousands of volunteers who gave spiritual care and practical help for the victims, as well as the many emergency workers. If you want to help Operation Blessing, go to our website, cbnnews.com.
Just brings tears to your eyes, doesn't it?
Beautiful.
Heartwarming.
Thank God.
Well, that's going to do it for now on CBN News Today. You can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com.
And tell us what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do that on Facebook or at CBN News on Twitter. Hope you'll join us again right here next time. Have a terrific Tuesday, everybody.
If you had a choice between going bald and a full head of hair, which would you choose? Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
Yes!
You wash it, you cut it. It's your own real, naturally growing hair. When it comes to hair restoration, no one in the world has more experience than Bosley. The results look completely natural and are affordable on nearly any budget. But the entire process can't be explained in 60 brief seconds. So to find out more about this clinically proven and permanent solution to hair loss, call now to receive your free no-obligation information kit. It'll answer all of your questions about hair loss and hair restoration. Plus, we'll also send you this $250 gift certificate just for calling. Every day you wait, you're losing more hair. So don't put it off any longer. You owe it to yourself to find out the facts. Choose hair. Choose Bosley.
Call 800-868-9957. That's 800-868-9957. Introducing the CBN Bible from CBN.com.
Now, an easier way to study the Bible and grow in your faith. Highlight your favorite verse. Read separate versions at a glance. Click and read a commentary. Or cross-reference your favorite verse using the Strong's Concordance. All the right tools to study the Bible, all in one place. The CBN Bible, available at cbn.com/Bible or the iTunes App Store.